Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring this show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. The U.S. military was forced to down a drone in international waters today after the craft was struck and damaged by a Russian fighter jet. The U.S. European Command said two Russian Su-27 fighter jets intercepted an MQ-9 drone that was flying in international airspace over the Black Sea. The Russian pilots dumped fuel on the drone and flew in front of it several times before one of the jets collided with the drone's propeller. Officials called the incident reckless and unprofessional and added that the maneuver showed a lack of competence. There was no immediate reaction from Moscow. Russia has repeatedly voiced concern about U.S. intelligence flights close to the Crimean Peninsula, which Moscow illegally annexed from Ukraine in 2014. President Joe Biden issued an order today that aims to bolster U.S. gun control laws. Biden's executive order does not change existing policy, but it does direct federal agencies to ensure compliance with existing laws and procedures. The plan calls for a shoring up of rules for federally licensed firearms dealers to make sure they know that they are required to perform background checks on gun buyers. Biden's cabinet is also being asked to work on a plan to support communities suffering from gun violence. Other mandates include better reporting of ballistics data from federal law enforcement agencies and the publication of an FTC report on gun manufacturer marketing. Biden has increased his focus on gun control in recent months as mass shootings continue and gun violence in the U.S. rises. San Francisco could be the first major U.S. city to fund reparations for Black Americans. A draft proposal presented to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors includes provisions for a $5 million lump sum payment for each eligible Black person living in the city. Other recommendations from the San Francisco's African American Reparations Advisory Committee involve home grants and business tax exemptions. The proposal is controversial and faces a steep uphill battle. Several board members have expressed concerns over the plan's financial impact, while critics say the payouts don't make sense in a state and city that never enslaved Black people. Proponents of the proposal point to data and documentation that shows how government policies work to imprison Black people at higher rates, deny access to home and business loans, and restrict where they could work and live. An estimated 50,000 Black people live in San Francisco, but it's not clear how many would be eligible for reparations. Nearly 27,000 people are under orders to evacuate in California as a new atmospheric delivers rain and wind to parts of the state. The latest storm initially spread light to moderate rain over the state's north and center, but the National Weather Service said the storm was moving more quickly than expected, and most of the precipitation is expected to shift southward. Forecasters are warning of potentially damaging winds with gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and there were multiple reports of falling trees. Power outages hit more than 330,000 utility customers in northern and central California. The state has been hammered by 10 atmospheric rivers this winter, while powerful storms have produced blizzard conditions in some areas. Meanwhile, the start of a winter storm on the East Coast caused a plane to slide off a runway and led to hundreds of school closings. Wall Street notched a win today as some bank stocks recovered from Monday trading. The S&P 500 rose 1.7% after reports showed inflation is still high but heading lower. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 1.1%, while the Nasdaq Composite added 2.1%. Today's report showed that inflation at the consumer level was 6% in February, down from 6.4% in January. That would typically call for an increase in rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, but the central bank is facing a banking system that may be cracking due to persistent rate increases. Since Friday, the second and third largest bank failures in U.S. history both happened in the span of 48 hours. Silicon Valley Bank failed on Friday and was followed by the collapse of Signature Bank on Sunday. The U.S. government announced a plan late Sunday that was meant to shore up confidence in the banking industry, but traders are still wary. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
I was able to earn my master's degree in 6 months at WGU. The competency-based learning made all the difference in the world because I was able to apply what I already know and move through those courses faster.